Hi everyone, and welcome to the Performance Cafe and to our festive edition. Well, I'm trying to keep it festive. I think we're all wrapping up and getting ready to, well, at least in the Southern Hemisphere, go on our summer holidays. And in the previous episode, I spoke about taking stock of what went right despite 2021 and all the challenges that it brought us. Because so often we are, we tend to see, oh, it was another difficult year. Oh, yet again, I didn't make this target, or I didn't do that, or I didn't follow that diet, or, I didn't keep up with my life coaching sessions, or whatever the case may be. So I've got another interesting exercise for you to do over the holiday, because I know that you're going to sit around and just wonder what to do with your time. I would like you to build a what if list. Now, if I had said that in 2019, I think you probably would have looked at me like I've just landed from Mars. But I think 2020 came and went and people thought, oh, 2021 will be better. And then 2021 came and vaccinations were an issue in South Africa, and we had a whole bunch of political stuff happening. And instead of being the better year, it almost feels like it held even more tension than 2020. And so many businesses were fighting and trying to keep up and trying to win back the business that they'd lost, the money they'd lost, all that kind of thing. And so 2021 almost wants to feel even more fraught. So I think there are a lot of people that have adapted and just say, oh, well, whatever 2022 gives us, we'll deal with it. And that's fine, right? That's great that resilience was achieved. But I think on the other hand, there are people who sit and are somewhat nervous about what the heck next is going to happen. So I want you to think about what if. I want you to plan the most detailed what if that you can for next year. I want you to take a look at everything that can go wrong, everything that can go topsy-turvy, even things that you thought might never even happen. And when you've built that little list, as scary as it is, I want you to make a list on the opposite side, right next to it. And I want you to write step by step the things that you overcame between 2020 and 2021 and how you overcame them. So the what if list is meant to have two functions. Firstly, I think if we plan for the worst, we'll see that actually what happens is normally somewhere in between. It's not that bad. I think if we open up our minds about what could go wrong, we do start that thought process of how am I going to fix this and how can I prepare myself? So if we manage to take a look at that list, but not get down, not get low, not get depressed, but go, let me rather be aware of this so I can see it coming down the line and I can plan and be prepared as much as I possibly could be. So that's the one part of the what if list. The part where you're writing everything you've overcome is I want you to take the time to recognize everything that you have learned in 2 years, how resilient you've been in the past 2 years, and the skills and techniques that you've learned to overcome. So in the first case, I want you to physically see, I made plan X, Y, Z. Can this be applied to your what if list if one of those things go wrong? But the other part of the learning is that in you, there were shifts, a shift towards maybe more collaboration, a shift to more independent thinking and independent habits. It could have been a shift to longer term thinking, or you may have had to do the opposite and become really tight in your thinking time frame because you never knew what was happening next. And I want you to write down that list of things as well to see how can you use that against your what if list. So basically, your what if list not only shows you how you have tackled changes and challenges, how you have grown and how competent you are. Because I sometimes think we overlook how much we've grown in the past 2 years. But it's also a way of making sure that you start putting arrows in your quiver for dealing with what 2022 is going to deal us. Now, right now, we're all sitting quite pretty. I think that vaccinations are up and all that kind of stuff. So we are starting to feel slightly more optimistic. But I do love it because Simon Sinek says, why do we call this unprecedented times? There have been stock market crashes and wars and pandemics and everything before. Every year has a challenge. Life is full of challenges. So instead of reacting in shock when these come along, isn't it just better to say, oh, well, I know I've got this because I've got the skills. And so I hope that you are going to enjoy this exercise, that it's going to help you focus and reflect on what you want to do next year. And then I will see you in the next episode of the Performance